What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing how to best shiny hunt Wild Zone 10 in Pokemon Legends ZA. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting my channel and join the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. Now, Wild Zone 10 has some really cool Pokemon. It has a couple of exclusive shiny hunts. You can only get Timeno here. You can only get Carvanha here. So those are going to be your two big hunts for this area. There's a couple other good hunts that with some Pokemon like a Mega Evolve, like Slowpoke, Bellsprout, Staryu. So pretty decent area overall, but it is pretty big and there is a lot of different methods to do it. So when you first enter this wild zone, you're going to get a couple of Slowpokes over here. You're going to get a couple Bellsprouts on the grass over here, like one or two. And then it's just Carvanha Party. Carvanha Party, Carvanha Party. And then you get our static Alpha Sharpedo. That is going to be a big hunt for a lot of people. Definitely a threat. And then you get our two Timenos. So that is going to be our first floor of this area. A lot of great Pokemon. And the first floor is pretty much what most people are going to want in general. Now, there is one Staryu spawn. You get one or two Slowpokes up here sometimes. And then the rest of the zone, you have this ladder. And this ladder is going to give us to the two other static Alphas. Now, right when you get to the top of this ladder, you're going to see the other one. And that is going to be the static alpha of the Watchog. And then the other one is just going to be a static alpha Arbark, which is going to be right here. And then the rest of the zone is just going to be Watchhogs and Arbarks together. Nothing interesting, really. So most of the meat is going to be on the bottom floor here. So how do you shiny hunt this area? Well, the first method, which I do think is the worst method, but we'll talk about it, is fly resetting. Why is fly resetting bad? Well, fly resetting is not great because you spawn right here. My pin is 47 away. Let's put it there, 53. So how spawns work is you get a spawn radius of 50 meters from you. So any Pokemon 50 meters away from you can spawn in. There is a height limit though, and Wild Zone 10 does hit that height limit. So essentially, the only Pokemon that we're going to shiny hunt with this is going to be the Slowpokes, the Bellsprout, and a couple of the Carvanhas. You're not going to get to the Alpha Sharpedo though, so you're only be hunting what's in this room. This is a bad method to do it. Do not do this method in general. The second method, which I actually think is a very good method, very valid method, and that is going to be the bench reset. Now, there is a bench right in the courtyard over here, and this bench reset is going to be great. Now, there's multiple benches. I'm going to just do this bench. I like this one the most just because, one, you can see where our pin is, about 40 away. So if you put a pin right here, 47. So you can get a little bit of the spawns. You can get the Bellsprout spawn in the corner, get a couple of Carvanhas over here. But you're also getting everything over here. You're getting the Timeno underneath you. And you're also getting, I mean, not really anything over here, to be fair. That's, I mean, technically you are, but not on the building. If it's like happens to be outside on the ground, yeah, but I don't really think there is. I like this bench just because it has a good view of everything I can look over. And it's essentially the furthest on the radius, and it has everything enclosed. That's just my personal preference. And then the other main bench, which I think a lot of people are sleeping on, is going to be the bench up on the ladder. So this is going to be method number 3. You're going to do the corner bench right here, and you're going to do this bench right here. Now, why do I like this bench a lot? Well, let's do this. Put this pin over here. 53, right? So you are not getting anything over on this side, but this is encapsulating all of the Carvanha, the Alpha Sharpedo. You are also getting the Timenos because for some reason there is a height spawn limit for shinies, but if the shiny is below you, they still spawn in, which is really interesting. But not only are you going to be getting that, you are going to be getting a potential Bellsprout right here because that's within the 50 meters. You can also get a potential Fletchling. Now, Fletchling can spawn over there, Bellsprout over here, and if you reset enough, sometimes you actually get Absol spawning on this roof, which is a very interesting potential shiny you could get. It's not 100% guaranteed, but you could get it. Now, you're not going to be able to get the Arbark, but you will be able to get the Static Alpha for the Watchog here, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, the Arbark does not spawn in from there. It's just right on the limit. It does not work out, and you can't do it from there. The last method is almost as bad as the first method. I guess it's slightly better. There is a bench over here, and you can shiny hunt the Arbark from this bench. You can also get these Watchhogs, but It's just not that good, and I just would not really recommend it unless you really just want to get the static alpha Aardvark. So I ended up testing the 2 major benches, which I do think are the best ways to shiny hunt in this zone. I tested them at the exact same time, and we're going to look at my shiny rewards because we got a good amount of shinies from this. So we did this bench right here as our first test, and this bench got me a lot of shinies. We got the Staryu, which is glorious, and to note, the Staryu does spawn during the daytime. So you can get that Staryu pretty decently well here. Did not get the Slowpoke, but I did get a nice shiny pool. I got the shiny Alpha Sharpedo from that bench in one of the Carvanas. The other Carvana came from the upper bench. So we good news on that upper bench. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the Time Nose to spawn in shiny, but I know the bench will work for them because the fact is, the bench is right above these guys, and these guys are on the same plane. So they're on the same elevation, which says to me that if the Pokemon spawn underneath you, you are going to be okay on trying to get those shiny. Now, neither bench actually got me a shiny from this side of it, even though if we look at the radius, this is about where 50 is from the bench in the courtyard. So that is pretty interesting, but I guess we just got really unlucky. Even with the shiny charm, just did not pull up a shiny over there. And now for the other bench. The other bench, as I mentioned, got us one of those shiny Carvanas, which is absolutely huge. Now, the main reason to pick this other bench over the one on the ground is the potential for the shiny Alpha Watchog, which is huge. And I've actually never seen this guy shiny before, so I'm very happy for my shiny Alpha static collection. But not only did we get him shiny, we got a couple other shinies from doing this too. There's a shiny Fletchliner over here, just chilling. So that's another shiny we popped from this particular bench. This Bellsprout is also shiny. So I didn't get any of the Bellsprouts on the ground, but I did get a Bellsprout on that rooftop. So we can go ahead and get those guys later. But overall, really good. Now, I did not get the Absol shiny, and honestly, I think the Absol spot isn't too great here in general. I really wanted to believe in it, but from my testing, it just did not work out too well. There is potential you can definitely get it shiny, but it just doesn't seem to spawn in consistently. It's not even a day or nighttime thing. I just think it's a big roof for it to spawn on, and I think it only spawns close enough to us about like a third of the time. So this bench is really good if you want to get that shiny Alpha. So I think first place bench is gonna be going over to the high bench in the northeast. Then the bench in the courtyard will be second place, and then the last one's the Aardvark bench. So there we go. That is how you're going to be able to shiny hunt this wild zone fast and easy. And I will say the fly method is just not great. It's just not a good shiny hunting method in general here, unless you really just want those couple of Slowpokes in the Carvana in the beginning and got like 1-2 Bellsprout spawn. But you're just better off doing the benches because they can give you a lot more, plus the Time No is not eligible with that fly in. So keep that in mind while you're doing these shiny hunts. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a good one.